Testing. 1 2 3 1 2 3. Yeah. Okay. Now I can hear. All right. No intro today. No intro. Is just me. Sorry that I'm late. Running a little bit behind. So breaking news, and it's some devastating breaking news. ICE agent shot and killed a woman in Minneapolis. They were in the middle of their, ICE raids, containing and detaining, trying to detain illegals. And of course, there are a lot of protesters that are out there, and they protest. Some of them are aggressive towards the ICE agents. And I am going to play a video. I'm going to edit it out later, but I am going to play the video. It's disturbing. Was that ICE agent in the wrong? Should he be fired? Should there be charges? Was he not so much in the right, but was he following protocol? I don't know. So I want to talk about it. I am going to open up the phone lines. So everyone, please like this video, share this video, and Happy New Year. Yes, hi agent. Thank you so much. Happy New Year, agent. Happy New Year, D, Lewis, Kadeen. Yeah, Happy New Year, everybody. I'm using StreamYards. I'm gonna see how it is. I'm going back to Restream because I like that better. So let's get into it. Let's see here. All right. So I want to share some things here. Oh, I'm not here yet. Let's go here. Oops, bring that back on the stage. So I am going to play the mayor's police, um, the mayor of Minneapolis press conference. But just to give a little bit of background, one person was killed in a shooting involving a federal immigration agent in Minneapolis. Minnesota officials said. Minneapolis Governor Tim Walz said today that the shooting involved U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, which has surged agents into Minneapolis area amid a broader federal crackdown on fraud in the state. A member of the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, ICE, restrains a protester trying to block the vehicle. So, well, this is the picture here of, of today. ICE agents spraying mace on protesters. This is the vehicle of the woman. So, I want to go straight to this before I play the actual clip. I want to go here.
Better, but I do have a message for our community, for our city, and I have a message for ICE. To ICE, get out of Minneapolis. We do not want you here. Your stated reason for being in this city is to create some kind of safety, and you are doing exactly the opposite. People are being hurt. Families are being ripped apart. Long-term Minneapolis residents that have contributed so greatly to our city, to our culture, to our economy are being terrorized, and now somebody is dead.
Yeah, somebody is dead. Somebody is dead. And thank you. Somebody said, I like your hair. Thank you. Somebody is dead. A woman is dead. I don't think they released her identity. However, whose fault is it? Who's at fault here? Can we blame the Democrats for having open borders and letting over 20 million illegals flood this country without being vetted? Absolutely. Absolutely. See, the Democrats, I'm blaming them. They started this because Kamala Harris is supposed to be the border czar, and she allowed open borders. There were no vetting, but what they did, you did have the governor of Texas bus and fly out illegals to sanctuary cities. Those sanctuary cities harbored, they gave free food, free housing, free healthcare, free education, work permits, IDs, mopeds, all types of resources to flourish in this country. And they just got here yesterday illegally. No paperwork, no vetting. Gangs increased, drugs increased, violence increased. So when Trump is elected, because that's one of the main reasons he got elected by Democrats and Republicans, to deport all illegals. And he made that promise and he stuck to it day one. ICE go into the sanctuary cities or any city that is harboring illegals. ICE is doing their job. As American citizens, you have a right to protest. You have a right to protest. But you do not have a right to assert yourself in police work, in law enforcement work. You are not legally allowed to interfere with the authorities while they're working. They're not talking to you. They're not engaging. You cannot interfere with law enforcement. And I'm seeing a lot of these aggressive, violent protesters do that time and time again, and they're doing it intentionally. They're all white liberals. They're doing it intentionally. A lot of them are paid to start chaos. They're paid by the Democrats, benefactors like George Soros, Antifa, what have you. And that is exactly what they're doing, to start chaos, to interfere, to put themselves in the middle of law enforcement work. Now, is that what this woman did today? Yes. Was that excessive force of that ICE agent to shoot and kill her? Yes. But you can't have your cake and eat it too. What makes you think that you can literally block, whether it's an ICE agent or any law enforcement authority vehicles or body, to prevent them from doing their job? Did she deserve to die? No. No, she did not. So someone on X, this is a slow motion video. I'm not going to put the sound on this one, even though it may come up. Okay. But this is the woman in the vehicle. She was backing out to move away. And then you see this officer here opens his gun, take his gun out, and shoots in the vehicle twice. So she was trying to drive away, and they were telling her to stop and get out the car. But why? My thing is this: she's gone, and I'm gonna show the full 4-minute video, perfect angles, and this is for educational, fair use news reporting. But why would you put yourself, put your car, your vehicle in front of ICE agents, blocking them from coming up the street, inserting yourself? It's very unfortunate that she died. This is going too far, and it's intentional, telling these protesters to go harder, be louder, be more aggressive, touch them, hit them, push them, be more demanding. For what? To protect people that came here illegally, that broke the law, and these people are just doing their jobs? You could stand to the side and protest, but you do not have a right to interfere in law enforcement work. So this is the video.
No!
They told her, they said, get out the fucking car, which was kind of aggressive, but they told her to get out because she was parked there blocking them. They have a right to tell her to get out. She should have got out.
Oh, my fucking God!
Was that too much aggressive force? Was that legal? Because she almost did run him over, and they did tell her to get out.
What the fuck?
She did not comply, basically.
What the fuck? You just fucking, what the fuck did you do? You are fucking criminals! You're fucking criminals! What the fuck? What the fuck? What the actual fuck? You are fucking insane! What did you do? You! Shame! 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 Dude, what's happening to her? What happened? Dude. Oh. Dude, you shot her. I'm trying to help. No, no. You fucking shot someone in the fucking face. You shot someone in the fucking face. Do you have a conscience? Do you have a conscience? Don't let the murderer leave! Don't let the murderer leave! You guys are the fucking criminals! You don't get to tell us what to do! Fucking criminals! Don't let him leave! Don't let him leave!
Pussy motherfuckers, man.
No! Get the fuck out of our neighborhood! Yeah, it's a fucking crime! We fucking know it! We're here! Yeah, like what the absolute fuck, man? What the absolute fuck? Do you have a conscience? Do you have a conscience? Do you have a conscience? This is the time, man. This is the time to have a conscience. This is not okay. This is not okay. Get a fucking conscience.
You look at me and tell me you're doing the right thing. Get the fuck out of here, bro. You didn't fire any weapons. Fucking your people did that.
In the head. In the head.
I didn't do anything.
And she drove
You
into the pole.
murderer. You, look at me. Look at me. You can't even
Watch out, man. Watch out.
Why don't you look at me? I thought you could do it. You owe your soul.
You okay, mommy?
a hot mess. And so my thing is, yes, stop interfering. You have a right to protest, but you do not have the right to interfere. Your vehicle was in the middle of the road blocking traffic, specifically blocking ICE agents, law enforcement vehicles. You cannot do that. And I say this, I'm not telling people stop protesting. That is your constitutional right if you are a legal citizen here. But you need to protest peacefully. You need to follow rules and regulations. Don't use this and say, oh, it's Trump's fault. It's the Republicans' fault. It's the ICE agents, their race patrols, all this shit. No, because that woman was white, number one, and they were doing their job. He could have used excessive force. And I'm going to change the survey and ask you guys, do you think that ICE agent was used excessive force when he shot at her twice? But, I'm not saying she asked for it. Nobody don't ask for that. But when you put yourself in that situation, you are literally asking for trouble. So I want to play some of the press conference here, because I'm also blaming, not only am I blaming the Biden administration and the Democrats, I'm blaming the Minneapolis Police Department, this sheriff, because he said over a week ago or a month ago that he is not going to help or assist the ICE agents when they come into their town to arrest illegals. He's going to tell his policemen to stand down and not assist ICE agents. Well, if you were doing your job and assisting these federal ICE agents, none of this wouldn't have happened.
So the question was, what can I share about the deceased? There is nothing to indicate that this woman was the target of any law enforcement investigation or activity. This woman was in her car, and it appears then blocking the street because of the presence of federal law enforcement, which is obviously something that has been happening, not just in Minneapolis, but around the country. She appears to be a middle-aged white woman.
Just about a month ago, you said these unplanned and questionable tactics by federal agents would result in someone being killed at a press conference right here. Do you consider today's tactics in line with that, or do you just have a generic response to the fact that somebody is now dead?
The question is that I had previously made several statements about being concerned.
2025 IRS tax forgiveness
Great.
now has open enrollment. It's easy.
About the tactics being employed. I am obviously very concerned that I have been told that a woman who was sitting in her car blocking the street and not the target of any enforcement activity is now deceased. However, I do not know, to be clear, I do not know the exact circumstances of the shooting, but I would tell you, in any professional law enforcement agency in the country, I think they would tell you it's obviously very concerning whenever there's a shooting into a vehicle of someone who's not armed, but it also is something that is possible. At times it is justified, but it is very concerning, and it's something that most law enforcement agencies in the country train very intensely to try and minimize the risk that law enforcement officers get placed into a situation that the need for deadly force would be necessary. I didn't hear the question.
Has there been any indication of the need to shoot into the vehicle?
The question was any indication about the need. I guess getting back to the justification of this, I have not seen any information other than what I have communicated.
Was she alone in the car? Were there children in the car with her?
The question was if she was alone in the car. I know that I got there shortly after this call came in. I did not see anyone else with her while I was on the scene. However, I've since been told by our officers that have been with her the entire time that a spouse has arrived at the hospital.
Mayor, just curious if you're thinking about contacting federal authorities to register your concerns about this, I mean, personally making phone calls, et cetera.
Yes, we've been on the phone all morning. As soon as we learned about this, again, there were a
now you
series
want to
of
have
priorities that we needed to go through. The first, of course, is to keep people safe and to help the victim in any way that we could. The second was to get ICE off of the scene. There was the notion that ICE agents would be necessary to create a perimeter around the scene itself. They themselves were creating the kind of dysfunction and chaos that they claimed to be trying to help with. And so the message that we delivered very clearly was to make them leave. Now, beyond leaving the scene, they should also leave our city and our state. We do work, our chief does work, our sheriff does work every single day to keep people safe in our city and in our state. And crime is dramatically down. Crime is down. It continues to trend down. They are doing the hard work of investigating, of arresting perpetrators of violent crime. What this federal administration is doing right now is not about creating safety. Do not let them tell you that what they are doing is about creating safety. It is not. It is having the opposite impact. We need to be clear-eyed about the work that is moving forward, and they need to leave Minneapolis.
We have time for one or two more questions.
Mayor, you may know this with your legal background. If the shooting is found to not be justified, does the city have any legal, or the state rather, have any legal recourse to bring charges against this ICE agent, given that this person is a federal agent, if the feds don't?
So obviously, and I have to always lead with this caveat because it is true, an investigation still does need to be conducted. I had my perception of what took place based on the vehicle and the vehicle's positioning. It does not appear that the individual is trying to ram anybody.
But she was
Now,
blocking.
the question was, if it is in fact found to be an unjustified shooting, who issues the charge, who prosecutes, how does justice take place? I don't know the answer in full to that. This is obviously information that we're still working out. Chief, do you have any additional information, or Commissioner?
The only thing I would add to the mayor's statement is that the crime scene was held by the Minneapolis Police Department, and the investigation is now being led jointly by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, as well as the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension. And the purpose of their involvement would be to investigate whether any state laws within the state of Minnesota have been violated.
One more
Can I
question.
just add something to that too?
Oh, sorry.
What's very important is that for our communities, that we do have some kind of part in this investigation. It needs to be done on a local level. With all due respect to the federal level, we do need to make sure that our local agencies are involved. Most certainly the BCA is very well capable of working with our federal partners in doing so. That is something that is needed for our communities. And so that's something that I can tell you that there's already been conversations from the U.S. Attorney's Office to the BCA that have already taken place today. How that's going to roll out, we don't know yet, but we are making sure that there is some kind of local entity, namely the BCA, that has a part in this investigation for the purposes of transparency and expedient transparency as to what happened today.
One more.
Sorry.
If that's it.
So,
Thank you, everybody.
Final piece, again, thank you everybody for coming. Thank you to the media for being here and disseminating this very important information around this tragic incident. To reiterate a final message to our community members, I understand the anger. Let's unite around hope and love and peace and getting justice. That's what we need to be doing right now. I appreciate the service from everybody up here, as well as the 435,000 people that call Minneapolis home. Thank you.
Got some housekeeping for you in just a moment after everyone leaves.
All right. So they wasn't saying not much. It wasn't saying much. And this is what I wanted to do, a compare and contrast, because this sheriff, the guy, the man sheriff, chief of police, or whoever he is. Yeah, he is Minneapolis police, chief of police. A week ago, a month ago, he said he was not going to help assist federal ICE agents. Now,
Do you love
I want to play this clip. Because now actually, this was yesterday. I'm sorry. A month ago, he said he was not going to help assist ICE agents. And he was going to tell his police department, do not assist ICE agents. Big mistake, because now look what we have going on today. Yesterday, this clip that I'm about to play, he's basically saying no one has told him anything. Well, how can you get information about ICE agents when they're going to be coming into your city, what they're going to be doing, what parts of the city they're going to be looking for illegals, if you are not cooperating with them, if you refuse to help assist them? So of course you don't know anything. And look what happened today. I blame the city of Minneapolis. I blame Tim Walz. I blame the police chief, because they are not transparent. They're the ones who are telling the citizens, yeah, go out there and protest, scream, fight back. And we're not going to help ICE. This is why it is your job to help assist federal agents that come into your city, that come into your district, that come into your state, so that you can prevent incidents like this.
For me, the one from my colleague, similarly to the first community question I was asked, he was wondering if an additional 2,900 federal agents being sent to Minneapolis, does NPD have a plan in place to make sure everyone is safe in case there is unrest?
So that is my biggest concern. And it's not just the reports that have been said. You know, I don't know what the number is, just to be clear. You said a number, I did not, because no one has told me anything officially. I've been concerned for weeks that because the issue is so emotional, and because frankly, some of the way this stuff has been carried out, the greatest risk to me is that there would be unrest, or that there would be a tragedy, that somebody could get seriously hurt or killed because of what's happening. That's the most pressing issue. So,
mind you, this is yesterday, 22 hours ago.
We have revised our policy around immigration matters. You know, we have put the utmost emphasis on professionalism and restraint. I have a designated supervisor that's on duty 24 hours a day. We have additional people that are on standby, you know, in the event that there is unrest, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to be able to recall people quickly. That is a concern. So that being said, I do have an ask that's both for federal law enforcement who may not be from Minnesota coming into our community, to please, whatever you do, do your jobs professionally and lawfully. And at the same time, to members of the community who have a constitutional right to observe, record, and object to the conduct of law enforcement, that you do so peacefully in our community. Because the last thing we want, you know, a lot of community and businesses, immigrant community, are on Lake Street. We all know Lake Street burned 5 years ago. And it's largely the immigrant community that rebuilt that street and helped rebuild a lot of those neighborhoods. So please don't come into our neighborhoods and cause destruction because of what's going on. If you're going to object to it, do it peacefully.
No, he should not get a hand clap. For what? For what? He is the same man who refused to help assist ICE. And in his city, this chief of police, in his city, a citizen was shot and killed. because she was blocking ICE agents' vehicle. She did not comply when they told her to get out the car. And when she went to pull off, it was an officer in that direction. And yes, a vehicle will be considered as a weapon. Now, again, for me personally, it may be just a tad bit too much aggression to take out your gun and shoot through the window. But ma'am, that's not peaceful protest blocking the middle of the roadway. What if there was a medical emergency? And it was, whether it's a fire department, a fire, or EMS, you cannot block that. You cannot block law enforcement authorities, whether they are local police, federal agents. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. And I don't want to sit up here and say she deserves it. She did not. It's unfortunate that she got shot and killed. Even if she didn't get killed, it's unfortunate that she got shot. But at some point, people need to recognize and stop thinking that your white privilege, your liberal privilege, your Democrat privilege is going to save you from getting hurt by law enforcement. I'm sorry.
Listen, it's called connecting.
Something has to give. Now, I do want to open up the phone lines. What is this? Okay. Because after this incident, more people came out to protest. So now you have more of a chaotic scene going on in this city, and it could have been prevented. Let's see. And I do want to get into Ohio fraud. I have some Jasmine Crockett videos, but I do want to open up the phone lines and give you guys, if you want to call in to express your thoughts on this Minneapolis shooting. I guess now we could say death because she died. This is the calling number, and I'm trying to get it to where it can scroll bottom ticket. Is that possible? Oh, I'll have to do something like this. What is this? Oh, scroll at the bottom. Okay. See. Show. Okay, that is the calling. Okay, so I see someone. Oh my God. Oh, here you go. Hello? I hope. Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Yes. Hi.
Can you hear me?
Am I on the air?
Yes.
Yes, I can hear you, Dana.
Okay, good. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you today?
I'm doing good. So, what are your comments on the Minneapolis shooting?
Well, I watched the video on Citizens Free Press, and the ICE officer was clearly hit by the woman in the SUV. You can see the angle that clearly shows that Citizens Free Press has video. I wish it would show it on the show, so because the regular communist news networks are not showing that or not talking about that. And I just say I live in Philadelphia, and since these Democrats have been agitating all their communist foot soldiers, it's been just hell for the police to enforce any kind of law in Philadelphia. I mean, you have these young people gathering with cars, where they spin out in the middle of main intersections. And there was an incident, I think it was last spring, where they were just right in front of City Hall, this huge crowd of, just young kids just spinning out their cars and setting off fireworks and all kinds of nonsense, and the police were trying to clear the area, and they just start jumping on the cars and surrounding the police officers. And it's been like that since, Obama and all, they agitate these kids against the police, and they're always on the side of criminals, and it creates a very, very bad situation. I don't go into the city anymore to enjoy the kind of things I used to enjoy because it's just lawlessness. And I think Jacob Fry is really, I can't even use the words, to describe how disgusting he is. But it's just a communist agenda. And they're using these young, emotional people. They're not all young, as you see, but they act on their emotions and they don't look at the facts. And they're using them to further a communist agenda. And it's a bad situation. I feel very bad for the police in my community.
Right.
They're, so I don't want to go on much farther. I'm sure other people want to call in.
There's nobody else in the queue right now, but I just think, do you think that the police officer, do you think that was too much aggressive force that for him to pull out his gun and shoot twice?
Well, not after she hit him with the car, no. Because the thing is, like, what if the Jacob Fries and the other people, this officer that you played in Minneapolis, really cared about these people that are getting shot and killed by police officers, they would be instructing them that if the officer is trying to put you under arrest, do not resist. Let them arrest you. You'll have your day in court. You'll have a lawyer. You have the right to remain silent. And if it's a false arrest, then you're going to get a check. That's how it works.
Right.
And it just reminds me. I don't know if you remember a move in Philadelphia, the MOVE members, where our Democrat mayor had to bomb. The compound.
Oh, the MOVE network.
Right. It just, since Barack Obama, he and Michelle Obama just reminded me of the MOVE members. So they just create these impossible situations for police. And it always winds up in a terrible, they have to deal with it. This woman is like, she blocked the cars. She's blocking them from doing their job. They're agitated by their communist mayor and their criminal governor. And then, then when they're trying to arrest her, she hits the officer and he kind of falls back. But, at that point, he doesn't know which way the car is going to go. Is it going to continue in his direction?
Well, before that,
run him over?
The other officer before that, when he walked to the car, he told her to get out. She did not.
Right. Yes, that's true.
And you have to comply.
Should be telling these. Exactly. They should be telling young people if they really cared about them and they didn't want to use these incidents to happen so they could use it to agitate. They would be telling them, do not resist arrest. It's not the worst thing in the world. If you think that you didn't do anything, I mean, look, people getting out of prison or not being charged, getting off for horrible crimes, you get arrested for something like this. It's not a big deal. You're going to go in, it's a couple hours probably in the police station. You're going to get a lawyer and you're going to walk. And if it's a false arrest, you're going to get a check. So that's what they should be telling them, but they don't care about them. They'd rather see someone killed so they could use this.
Right. Yeah. You're absolutely right. I totally agree with you.
They love when something like this happens.
Yeah, because they are going to lose it. They're going to use it politically. Yeah, and this is a major elections year. But thank you so much. I really appreciate you calling in.
Thanks, Dana. Enjoy your show.
All right. Have a good day.
Bye-bye. Have a good day. Bye.
Okay, next caller, 636. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hi, how are you?
How are you, Miss Dana?
Good. So, what are your thoughts?
I'm just kind of wondering, like, all this exposure that's slowly coming on, and it's so sad that it has to be like the Nick Shirley thing. You saw what he did. He didn't do anything that any reporter wouldn't have done back in the old days. But for some reason today, it's like, how dare he? And the first thing I keep hearing is, oh, but he was mega this and he's mega that. And it's like, or is he just a guy who is exposing some things that need to be exposed?
Right.
And I was just shocked at how CNN, which I'm not really shocked, but the fact that CNN is trying to change its image because of, the Biden administration follow-ups, that the reporter they sent, I don't know how much experience she has or her veteranship as far as, she's just an out-of-school journalistic person or what, but she tried to almost make him look like a complete idiot on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes and makes phone calls as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to physically with a camera crew walking up to the doors just like he did and do the real on-the-ground tactical boots on the ground, as I say.
Who are you talking about? What woman?
She's some reporter that was for CNN that was
Oh.
following up Nick Shirley. And she went and did some follow-up on camera with people, but she sat in a hotel room and just called all the locations he went to. And literally was almost, I don't know how you would word it, but it almost sounded like she was defending them without saying that.
Nick Shirley was doing a job of a true journalist that what we see these TV news people, they don't do, but that's what they're supposed to be doing. And you have a young kid.
And why are they not doing their jobs anymore? Is it it's just glamour?
It's all because it's propaganda that they're pushing.
Because Ms. Dana, this is the one thing I can really, I just still am, and this is something I think even Judge brought this up one time. How is it that people who do the news, whether it be sports, entertainment, or just news like broadcasters and / reporters, can get Emmys and Tony Awards? Because it almost seems like they're just a different form of acting.
So someone said this before, because if you remember, because I was born in 76. So when I was able to watch the news starting in the 80s, even back then, the news then compared to now, even if you look back in the 70s, 60s, 50s, and 40s, that was real news, real journalism, right? Even if they did sprinkle propaganda, but that was real journalism, real news reporting. And somebody said as soon as news reporting started to be a 24-hour cycle, that's when you just start seeing all types of junk and mess and just, nonsense.
You think the Turner residency made it happen?
Yeah. A billionaire.
Because Ted Turner was the one that started CNN with the 24 hours. You get all the news all the time.
And everyone else followed. Yeah. All the other major news companies follow. Fox, CBS, they all follow. So, and now look what we have. It's saturated. So what are you going to talk about for 24 hours? News should not be 24 hours because you need time to actually do real journalism to present the news. So, yeah.
That's the thing too, that I see it locally and I see it globally. I mean, I don't know if you ever, I get a lot of my news no more from the major legacy, as we would call it, media.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to plug anybody, but have you checked out or looked up, and it's usually on YouTube, but they're also on Rumble, and they have their own thing. It's called NTD.
I've heard
I don't know if you ever, it's New Tang. It's New Tang, but they cover things that you don't even see anybody else seem to cover. Mm-hmm. And they were a family from China, the way it was explained to me, a family from China who was all about freedom of press. And you know how China is not so much about the freedom of press because, they're
right.
kind of a dictatorship.
Mm-hmm.
And they came here and started their own press, but then do a worldwide distribution. And I think the parent company is Epic Times, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
And then New Tang is like a branch of that or a tentacle off of that or something.
Yeah.
But the coverage they have, and they're based out of New York. And So a lot of the stuff that was going on during the Trump administration's non-Trump administration, which, you know, the media was carrying on a Trump administration when it wasn't even Trump. And it was kind of the whole during Biden, like everybody was talking about Biden being strong and healthy and that, they were the ones that actually were saying, no, he's not. And a lot of people said, oh, that's right wing. Why is it right wing to be broadcasting something?
Right.
That always aggravated me too, is there's left-wing media, there's right-wing media, and then there's media that just talks about stuff.
Right.
And why is it when you got to talk about stuff that goes against somebody else's ideas, or I guess narrative is probably the real word to go by, that it's suddenly either left or right? Because a lot of times the right isn't always right either.
Right.
They overlook a lot of stuff, and it's like
Absolutely.
another news network that I look through is also Ground News, which I really love that feature, but I wish they weren't expensive, if that makes sense. Because it seems like there's no real free media out there except for those stuff that's really tainted.
Okay, yeah.
But I get some of the media that want to be paid because, you know, they do got to have people that make money that do what they do.
Right, exactly.
Not as a business, but just to help keep it legit.
No, exactly. But again, it's like, where do you go to get true news, true journalism?
Exactly.
And honestly,
you can't get untainted. I think untainted news is still, regardless, it's going to be whoever's perception that's doing it.
But
I don't think there's anybody who can be 100% neutral.
Right. And but I think
they have to lean one way or the other. It's just the way it is.
When you have a Nick Shirley or podcasters, because I also like to watch Redacted on YouTube. Honestly, it's us independent podcasters that I kind of go to now for neutral or whatever, or if I even want to be specific. So, you know,
yeah, like Joe Rogan. Everybody used to say Joe Rogan was a very far leftist guy.
Yeah, and I think he's very neutral.
If you look at Joe, he's not really leftist. He's just curious.
He's objective, and the people miss that.
Very.
Yeah, people need to learn how to be more
curious,
objective.
and he has no qualms on anybody as far as he invited Harris to show up at his studio.
Right.
And she made up all kinds of excuses that she couldn't do it. And I really think that hurt her. I mean, openly, as you know, just doesn't matter what party, that would have helped her or hurt her even more. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, listen, I really appreciate you calling in.
Yeah, really like watching your show, man.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
And by the way, the name is Steven.
Steven.
But 666 will work. I used to have a YouTube channel at one time. It's probably still out there. I just haven't really touched on it in a long time. It used to be Kryptonite in the Car or Steven Kryptonite. I can't remember which one it was.
Oh, okay. Well, listen,
It's kind of a goofy name, I know, but it's like they used to say Kryptonite in the Car. And it's like, yeah, because it's one of my weaknesses or it's going to kill me. You know?
Right. I mean, you're creative. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you calling in.
The only way you got to be nowadays. You can't be too direct. Otherwise, it's just drive you insane.
Right. Exactly. All right. Enjoy.
Well, you have a good day, Miss Davis.
Thank you. You too. Let's see. Okay. Next. 540.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Yeah, this whole situation is just basically it really on the Democratic side, they're just using all the mayors to they're just galvanizing all their people when there's situations like this happen.
Are you outside?
I'm driving right now.
Oh. Now you're not supposed to be on the phone driving.
My bad if you hear noise around me.
Do you have me on speaker or something?
No, I got you on my earphones.
Oh, the earphone. Oh,
hold on. Is it still noisy?
It's still noisy.
Uh-oh. Maybe I have to call back.
Yeah, pull over and call back.
Okay.
All right. Oh, I could have just put him on hold. 954. 954.
Hello.
Hi.
Yes. Hi. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. I'm always looking at. I'm at home, but I always look at your show. You and Joe Brown. My
Thank
God.
you.
Yeah, yeah. I have a few comments because I've been watching the mainstream media for a long time. I've now for about well, ever since 2016. That was a big wake up for me because when I seen President Trump run at the time, I know who he was, but I didn't like the way he would speak sometimes, but I was, still able to forgive him because I already know how he goes. So I didn't have a problem with him running for office or supporting him.
Hmm.
But I have to say, I do not. I have turned my back years ago on the Democrat Party because I seen something that I didn't like, and I seen something in them that they are causing regular folks, good, decent people, to just go so demonic and so evil, and I don't understand it. But now with this here, this clearly is a bad situation. This is a bad situation. Anytime you come towards a officer, any officer, you must have that different respect. And even if you protesting, you need to protest in a mannerable way, but don't use your vehicle to harm an individual or anyone. And I don't know exactly what really, really went down. I'm seeing the videos, and the videos look clear to me. But I'm just concerned that this nation now have turned into something that I'm not really recognizing,
Hmm.
with all the fraud going on and with all the attacks against President Trump, against all Americans, basically the ones that supported him, because we can't always agree with what he do, but the things that's important that we see him doing, we have to support that,
Right.
and with the guy named Nick Shirley, my God, are you serious? He's reporting as a real journalist, telling the truth of what's going on. And he got attacked.
Yeah,
Like, where
I
we
started
at in this
following his
country?
YouTube channel to get the news on, on breaking news on fraud. So, but see, and
Yeah.
honestly, I hope that puts a spark, especially in younger people, myself included, and younger.
hmm
I hope that
hmm
put a spark in younger people. Go out there, take your phone, ask questions, go speak to people,
hmm
investigate.
Yeah.
It's very important because he's not pro Trump, he's not pro nothing. He's just pro, okay, let's uncover the truth. Let's uncover the truth.
Yeah.
So I really respect what he's doing, and I really want to encourage people and young people in his generation to keep doing that, because that's really going to break us away
Exactly.
from this legacy media propaganda BS that's being shoved down our faces and throats every
Uh,
day. So,
exactly. Exactly. It's terrible. I'm 50. So I'm 54 years old, and I can tell you right now, I do not recognize this nation now with the young people. They just not understanding, and we have a media just propaganda ain't even a word for me. It's just like crazy. They lie so much. I had never seen a media. I mean, if you're supposed to be a media and you on your show 24 hours a day, you only talking about Trump and the Republicans, what are you doing here? Like, what are you doing? You're not talking about what's going on around the world. You won't even touch this situation in Minnesota with the fraud. Now this murder with this young lady talking among herself to be, I guess, to confront ICE and block the traffic. I mean, come on,
mhm.
and I just don't know. And another thing I had a problem with. I have a problem with these judges. Like, what's wrong with the judges? Do we have any real judges in this country, in this nation?
The
Like,
activist judges,
where
yeah.
we at?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, listen, it's it's
So
it's
I
it's
really,
very it's very much unfortunate, but I have hope in the younger generation to turn things around, especially when it comes to media and the news.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, definitely, definitely. Because like you said, his voice, this young kid voice, can really bring the message to because I watch a lot of these podcasts and they are really doing some real good work. Some of them maybe a little bit too much, but half of them that I listen to, because I always like going by, I'm from the old school, so I always like to go back and listen to stuff. And I grew up around a lot of older folks. I have older friends like in their 70s, 76. And even some of them is like, well, you know, we really hate Trump. And I was like, oh my God, get off of that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, so I just try to like be a little bit balanced and stuff. And you know, even like me, because I'm actually like a Christian, I go to church a lot. And sometimes I hear things from my, you know, from the leader, and I don't like it. And I just like, oh God, could I just at least get up out of here? You know, so it's very intimidating when you are around people that constantly being negative. And I understand what these young people are going through because, like I said, my kids are grown. All my kids are grown. I have grandkids, so I don't have no little babies. I have grands, you know, and my kids, they up in their 30s and 40s. So I'm
Right.
pretty much good on that
Yeah,
end.
exactly.
You know,
Exactly. Yeah. Well, listen, I really
you
appreciate you
know.
calling in.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Oh, okay, you too. All right, bye bye.
224-940. I see you in queue. Just hang tight for a second because I want to swing to Ohio real quick. What is her name? McKee Cook. Mahik Cook. She's in Ohio. Oh, this is that thing out. And I wanted to play this video because she's putting boots to the ground like Nick Shirley exposing the fraud in Ohio. So I want to play this clip and then I'm gonna go to 224 and 940. And I keep seeing 337 and keep hanging up. But I'm gonna play this clip, then I'm gonna come back to the phone lines. Yeah, so this is no, actually, no, was it this one? I'm gonna get to that one in a minute. I wanted to play this one. Yeah. Somalian Education Resource Center that was given 14 million has been found.
2 million.
Oh, wait a minute. Darn it. I got to get I thought I saved that one. It was, or was it this one? Where she got yelled at. Yeah. All right, wait a minute. Yeah, I believe it was this one. All right, let's take a listen.
I was just gonna.
How may I help you?
Oh, are you with this?
What's going on?
I was just gonna ask a couple questions about home health care for somebody in their 90s.
We're not ready to answer questions.
Okay, you're not taking patients?
No, we're not taking patients.
Okay, all right.
It's
So
free to go.
okay, thank you very
Yeah.
much. Hi.
What are you guys doing here?
Asking about home health care services.
Look,
For
you're
somebody in their 90s.
not asking on home health care service. I know you. I know you.
I don't think you know me.
I know you.
Okay, I'm Mahek.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Mahek, that's how you pronounce it.
You can record whatever you want.
Oh, I know, we're recording because I was
Because
assaulted.
I know you are just spreading a lot of bunch of BS.
What's the BS?
You're talking about Somalis. I've seen it so many times in Fox News.
I've spoken about the issue in Minnesota or Minneapolis in particular.
No, listen.
I'm listening.
Listen.
I'm listening.
You are from India. You are not a white person.
I wasn't trying
Listen.
to pretend I was.
Listen. Get out of our house. You're not supposed to be here.
This isn't private property.
It's a
and
private property.
It's not.
It's a private
I'm
property.
knocking on doors to
Well,
ask.
we've got every right to be
Listen,
here.
No, you don't have every right to be here.
We have every right to be here.
spreading lies?
Wait.
We're not spreading any
Hold on one
lies.
second.
Yeah,
Can I speak?
you guys
No,
are
you
not
can't.
supposed to be here.
Because
If you're
because
gonna-
your last name is Cook doesn't mean that you're white. You are from India, and you are just spreading a lot of bunch of BS.
It's not
Who
a
do you
bunch of
think you are?
BS. Who do you think you
Who
are?
do you think you
Who
are?
do you think
Who
you
do you
are
think
standing
you are,
here
dude?
telling me that I can't ask?
Why are you coming to harass us? Why are you coming to harass us?
We're not coming to harass anyone.
You guys looking for, you guys can go department of
Listen, who give you this job to do?
and then you guys can ask them how this
Who gives
operated.
this job to do? You have no right to be here. You gotta leave.
We have every right to be here.
No, you don't have
No,
no
you don't
right
have-
to
We have every right to be here.
There's no ticket to harass. You said
You are
we
harassing
have
people.
no.
We're not harassing anyone.
You just running around. You just go.
Just knock on the
Spend
door.
a
You guys
lot
are
of-
the ones
why-
yelling at
why
us.
are you-
We're
why are you
simply
knocking?
asking questions and then you guys are trying to intimidate us.
You guys are healthcare.
You-
What are you doing is wrong. I do.
You guys are trying to intimidate us right now.
You guys came to our office.
You said you didn't want
No,
any
that's fine. You can ask questions. Who you
You
want?
guys are You guys are trying to intimidate us. You're telling us we're not allowed to be here. Why do all of you have your phones out right now?
Yeah, because we wondered.
Why do you have a speaker on?
For safety, for my own safety.
For our safety too.
No, you can record
You
it.
guys have no right to be here. You guys gotta leave right now. Bunch of BS. You need to leave. You need to leave right now. Move away.
Those guys
Move away. They're here to harass us.
Because your last name is
Look, we're peacefully here.
These ladies that spread a lot of BS about Somalis.
That's not true, and you know that. No, did you see my last video? Did you see my last video? I actually spoke to a really nice lady from Somalia and specifically, that's not true.
We're talking about fraud, not Somalis.
No, not at all. No, I actually.
We're talking about fraud.
You guys not go department of whoever.
You have to just get the other day. You just
And
pretended
then
to be a
ask
white
them how they
Get
deal
away
with
from
this.
We
And
did
see
actually.
you guys can businesses.
No, we
Harassing
actually,
people.
I asked about home health care rates and services.
No,
And just so
no,
you know,
no,
the
Then
last,
why don't you go there? office,
we
and then
did. We
how
actually
they
spoke to
operate,
somebody. We
how
spoke
they
to
operate,
somebody
how they
here.
do review, how they inspect it. Why don't you go there?
We've done
Instead
both.
you go here.
We've honestly done both. We've actually talked to the agency and then also
who you
talked
work
to a
for?
couple of healthcare.
Who you
We're
for?
just
Why are you
asking if
spreading these lies?
What's the lie?
Because of you lies, you saying they
I don't know
steal
about
money,
you.
they do this, they do
I never
that.
said you stole
And
it.
nobody steal money. You know,
Nobody
if you're
has
missing
said-
one time sheet, you can get
Secondly,
citation,
who
That's-
and you're
give
gonna
you
go.
permission
Yeah, that's accurate.
So then,
But who said
then why you're
you're
not gonna-
stealing?
because every video you watch on the TikTok, whatever, you there,
everywhere.
lying, saying Somali people
Well,
can't
That's
steal
not
money.
accurate.
No,
You should look at my
you're not
last
supposed to do
video.
that.
It's
No,
actually
no, no.
from
You have a
a.
problem with Somalis, that's
Last-
up to you.
Somalis,
The
Don't lie to
last
the
video I
Americans.
posted was a very nice
You
lady
just
who actually
spreading
walked
hate,
through
spreading
daycare
a lot of
system.
lies,
That's not
spreading a
true.
lot of BS.
Well,
and
I
you
think you're
are
unhinged,
more
so I'm
of
not
a- you are
taking
an
you. You're
idiot.
respectful.
No,
You should
well,
go look at the last video about a really nice person who sat down, treated me with respect, and then I explained that this
Then
is
why you
a.
not respecting the community? Then
We
you're saying all
100%
that lies.
have. Where's the lie?
Yeah, you just saying some bullshit that you're not even
Where's, I think you're
reviewing.
mistaken.
You don't,
We are reviewing.
you don't know
it.
how
try
we,
to go into a daycare
like
the other day.
how my
If you
daycare
guys are a
operates.
legitimate business, you should be outraged by the fraud. But instead, you're attacking us
Listen.
because we're calling
Who
out
attacked you?
fraud.
Nobody
Listen,
touched you, nobody
listen.
Oh yeah, sorry, you're attacking my friend. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You're attacking my friend instead of just me. Okay.
If
There's
you
no lies
investigate
here.
fraud, why don't you go to other people? Why
We're
you go
going
to
everywhere.
Somalis?
We
We're
have
going
to go
everywhere.
Everybody. No,
100%.
you are profiling Somalis in your.
That's not
There's
true.
no way.
There's
that you're
34 home healthcare services in this building. Of course, we're going to be in a building with 34 home
Why
healthcare
don't you
services.
see one video of you guys going to a white business?
Well,
Or
because
going to
most of the
Indian
home
business?
healthcare are right
Or going to
here.
another business? Why are you going on Somalis? Tell me.
He has a point. Why are you only going to Somali businesses and not going to the white home health aides and daycare asking them about fraud?
We have not been profiled.
But at the same time, what does her not being white have to do with asking you questions? Because she's Indian descent, she's not supposed to ask you any questions?
And there's
You
34
have
here.
been
We've knocked on the door of
profiling
every
Somalis.
34
You have
businesses
been
I don't
here.
know
Somalis,
who
you have
is
been attacking
owned
Somalis
here.
business.
We just knocked
Your
on the door,
profile,
asked a
you're
couple
attacking her for being
I
One
am
nice
attacking her
lady
because
actually
she
went
attacks
through
Somalis
all
on
the
Fox News.
services and things
She was
like
just,
that.
she went to daycare the
So-
other day. She was trying to go forcefully into a daycare. You know the rules of daycare.
We're trying to
You
expose
cannot go
fraud.
into a daycare.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
If you're doing that, you just go to those who give the license and then ask that question.
Yeah, we
How
have.
they operate,
Okay.
how they review, how they inspect it. And then you go from there. You find out you don't satisfy what they tell you, and then you can say something. But you cannot come out and say, hey, you take in person. No, there's a rule on the.
We're simply asking questions.
And then this
If you said no,
this
I
is
walked
like-
away, right?
this is-
The
this
minute you
outrageous.
said
This
no, I walked
outrageous.
away.
Look, you're the ones following us and arguing
I don't
with
know what's
us.
that.
You have 6 guys in a small hallway posted up waiting for us, and we come down and you're right back here telling like. That's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I mean, we actually were walking away.
Listen,
So
you guys. The only people being harassed today
we're
are
not
us.
speaking to you anymore. We're done with this conversation.
That's not
So-
fair. Look, guys, the only ones being
I
harassed
think
today are
you have
us.
been actually been very kind, so I respect you.
So
I
you
don't
just don't
respect your
keep
friend.
building
If
up.
you actually go through my social media, you will see me talk about fraud in Minnesota, nothing about the community here.
Don't you know, they reviewed that and then they never find no fraud.
You probably are 100% legitimate with that. That doesn't
Then
stop
how
anybody.
you
That doesn't mean
know
others
it's a
aren't.
legitimate fraud?
I didn't say there was fraud here. We're just
That's
asking
what you're going
questions.
after, right?
We're
You're
asking
going after fraud.
questions.
True, but I mean,
We're
you guys wanna
asking
know
questions
who
of
might
business owners, that's all.
So you guys need to be fair. You want to report something,
So
to
did you?
go directly what's going on. But
We
you don't
did.
have to just exaggerate the lies
There's no
and just
lie.
create all these chaos.
Did you see my last video of a very nice Somalian daycare?
Starting from the president all the way down to you guys sitting standing here, just the same story.
You're not
In
hearing
one
me
small
on record.
community. It's not
And
fair.
it's not the Somalian community.
Yeah,
It's
that's
the-
what it is. That's what
it
you guys
isn't.
going after.
That is not it.
Yes, that's what it is. Why don't you go to other daycares and hold on?
We have.
We've gone to over 20 daycares in this city. I'm not lying.
It's honestly, I think this is a pointless conversation.
It is. I mean, we're not
Thank you guys for being kind.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Child, I'm about to go to the phone lines now. Listen. Listen. Okay. So the reason why people are going to Somalians daycare home health aides because it's the Somalians that got caught stealing over $9 billion in federal and state funding. That's why. Now people will go to white businesses if it was white people. If it was black people, they'll go to the black businesses. But Somalis, you know, Showtime is on you. The camera's on you now because you guys were caught stealing over $9 billion. How about, why don't you do your investigation, Somalians in Columbus and in Minnesota? Minneapolis and Columbus, Ohio. Why don't the Somalians do their own independent investigations to say, here, these are the fraudsters, fraudsters. These are the scammers. These are the people stealing the money. Tell on your people that are stealing the money so that you could be left alone if your business is legit. It's deep, and then also it's deeper than the Somalians because a lot of that money, the over $9 billion in federal and state funding, I'm looking at that as a Ponzi scheme that is funding a lot of political campaigns. See, this is going to go back to politics. Let me go to phone lines here. 224, you still there?
Yes, ma'am.
How are you?
I'm doing great,
Guys, please
Can you hear me?
hit the like button and share this video. Yes, I hear you.
Yeah, I was just calling in because I think that a lot of folks, a lot of us, including YouTubers and everybody, and you're kind of saying it, but it needs to really be expressed because a lot of people are real dumb. And I'm talking about when everybody hides behind this thing. And I'm former law enforcement. I'm a retired cop out in Cook County, Chicago area. Okay, so when people talk about peaceful protest, my First Amendment right to protest, you know what that really means in today's language is this: I have a right to obstruct you. That's what it is. It's not what we're doing is we're not actually peacefully protesting. What you're actually doing is you're obstructing law enforcement that are doing a legal job. And if you actually go and look at the First Amendment, I think it falls under that. When First Amendment, it talks about freedom to assembly. And if you read it, it says you have the fundamental rights for individuals to peacefully gather, associate, and collectively express ideas. You go further on reading into it, it tells you these meetings and these protests are subjected to reasonable behavior at a neutral time and place and manner restricted to ensure public safety. We do not ever see that from the Democrat side. And I mean, you can say that for both sides, but I'm saying specifically from the Democrat Party, when they're always talking about, I have the right, they're not peacefully protesting. What they are doing is what we call obstruction. They're obstructionists.
Mm-hmm.
They are also resisting, obstructing. It's not peaceful, and it's putting law enforcement in danger. Nobody peacefully protests, and I find it real odd with black folks too, but you don't never see anybody peacefully protesting when Unc gets pulled over by the police on a DUI and they're doing a field sobriety. We don't show up in mass and say, we're going to stop the field sobriety test because we peacefully protesting. We don't do that. You're not even supposed to protest lawful actions. It's something that you think is being done unlawfully. If something's being done unlawfully, you protest. You can do that and express your ideas. But when law enforcement is doing something that's lawfully, like we're doing a search warrant. I'm in Cook County. I was on a drug unit. Nobody ever showed up to protest me when I was in all black with a ski mask on doing a search warrant. But I see them all the time protesting ICE to get a ski mask on. That makes no sense to me. When someone's doing something that's legal, it is legal. And the truth be told, and this is all the Democrats' fault. I'm going to be 100 with you for this. Tom Homan told them up front, hey, we don't want to do it the hard way. We like to do it the easy way. What's the easy way? Retainers. As I told you, my background is law enforcement. We got plenty of retainers that we denied. I let many of illegals go that I was upset with. I was like, I lock up Tyrone for the same damn thing. Can't let him go. But I got to let Jose go because he's here illegally because y'all don't want to have this retainer on him or you don't want to do something. Makes no sense. But Tom Homan told you, when we issue a retainer, hold them for us. The safest place to go get them is while they're already handcuffed, sitting in a cell. They're already in custody. Just let me go get them from you.
Yes.
That's the safest way with what nothing happened. Now you got local police departments, you got sheriff's departments, and then you got your counties and you got your state police. You got all these different departments that come in contact with these people that we can safely get them from you. In addition, if we have to go get somebody who doesn't come, if we got a warrant for somebody, like when they're picking up these rapists and people who are murderers from Ecuador and all these other departments, they should be able to contact you. And you, if these people who got these sanctuary cities really gave a damn, what they would do is they say, hey man, you got a warrant for them? Give us the warrant. I will let our local police department like Chicago PD, we will go in and grab that person from you, for you, and turn them over to you. You know why we're going to do it? Because there's 10 other people in there illegal that you don't got a warrant for that we want to stay here.
Right.
That would be the safe thing for you to do if you wanted to. You would tell your immigrant to say, hey, if your cousin or your uncle got a warrant, let us take him so we don't have to take you. Because if we let the ICE come in here, they're taking all of you, and they only had a warrant for this person. But you're here illegally too. So they're going to take you all.
But here's the thing also,
do that.
the Minneapolis chief police a month ago, he said that he was not going to instruct his police officers to help assist ICE agents. And then I'm blaming him for what happened today, because if you were assisting the ICE agents, you can avoid this type of shooting that happened today.
That's my whole point. That's my whole point. And then if you actually lock people up and say, or people got educated and say, you're not technically protesting when what you're doing is obstructing legal, lawful authority. That's not protesting. Protesting is when something is arbitrary happens, like the police did something to to a black person just because they were black. They just stopped these people, and we actually believe that you just pulled these people over and did what you did simply because they were driving around black. This is kind of arbitrary. That's something that you're going to go out there and you're going to say, there's no legal authority. We think that you're not following the law. But when you got ICE agents that are actually just following federal law, there's nothing that you really can do. Now, if you really want to peacefully, you're not peacefully gathering like the First Amendment says. I've not seen anybody. I've heard a million YouTubers all claim, yeah, just get out there and, if you're going to peacefully protest, and every once in a while they say, make sure you're peacefully They throw that peaceful word in there, and they're not actually saying, like, look what they're doing. Do you think that's peaceful? Like when the video you played with the shooting today, the lady in the background who's screaming, detain the ICE officer, don't let him leave.
Right. Who's supposed to detain him?
Why would you instruct someone to detain someone holding an AR-15 that got 30 rounds in it and got a handgun, a sidearm? Why would you tell them, and he's with his buddies that are all law enforcement? You think like, what? I'm in law enforcement. Ain't nobody gonna detain me.
Right.
Without a shootout happening.
I don't think
the same thing.
A citizen, a civilian cannot legally detain a law enforcement officer.
They can't. And think about it like this. If you have your firearm with you and you was at Walmart and you got into a fender bender and someone just said, detain her, jump her, and it's a mob of people, what would you do? Now, we can think about what you would do, but at the end of the day, everybody, and they tell you this all the time in law enforcement, at the end of your shift, you want to go home.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to go home.
Right.
So why would you be instructing people to basically attack the police? Because just because you keep hiding behind these words like peaceful protest, we detaining a criminal, that ain't what you're doing. What you're doing is you're putting your life at risk and others' lives at risk. That's what you're actually doing. You're causing chaos.
Right.
You're obstructing and causing chaos. And people need to actually call it out for what it is and stop hiding behind the First Amendment and saying, it's peacefully protest. Man, ain't none of these people peace. And from when we saw that Congresswoman push the damn ICE agents, ain't none of these people, even if you don't put your hands on the ICE agent, if you're surrounding the ICE officers and threatening them, we got to keep it real. We got to be honest with each other, especially as black folks. We know damn well when a mob of people get around us and get to talking crazy, there's typically a rule. If you come within arm's reach, I'm going to hit you before you hit me. Mm-hmm. Once we establish that, like, nah, this ain't no peaceful, I'm at work. Imagine if you worked at Wendy's and you was up there and someone came behind the counter to confront you about their order and said, well, I'm just peacefully protesting. Like, not behind the damn, how you gonna come behind the counter by the register with me and not think that I'm not supposed to defend myself?
Right.
That makes no sense. And these people do this shit all day, which I don't feel bad for them. I think the police need to shoot more. Well, you know what? I think more of them need to fuck around and find out, because the issue is that people expect the other side to be a bigger person than them. And they're preventing you from doing your job. And at some point, you got to actually just do your job and let the chips fall where they may, because they're not going to learn. You got a dumbass mayor and a dumbass governor who haven't said these simple words. Yo, if ICE is out there doing their job, stay the hell out their way.
Right. And
even if we're not going to assist them. Right. Even if your police department won't assist them, if you told your citizens to stay the hell out the way and said, go on out there if you want to, get arrested, we're telling you to stay out their way. That'd be a better message. Even if you're not going to assist, stay the hell out the way. But all this can end today. All this can end today if all these people that said, you know what, Trump, can we talk back with Tom Homan? I tell you what, if you pull ICE out of Minneapolis, if you do that, if you just draw back for a minute, we will cooperate fully. What do you want? When we give you a retainer, we want your local, your state, your county. Mm-hmm. We want you to hold these people. Right. We'll give you the warrant. You hold them. We'll come get them.
Right.
That's it. And then we don't have to be there and say, you know what, you get.
But
off
everybody is. But that's too much like right. But that's not what the Democrats wanted. They wanted the chaos when Trump won. Then their next plan was cause chaos, push back against the ICE
That's
agents.
all they are. They are just a party of chaos. That's
exactly.
It. And then before I let you go, I just want to say this one thing about the Somali thing. As somebody who's been paying taxes all my life, I started working when I was 13 for the city, and one of the not for the city, in the city of Aurora. But I was paying taxes. I think I was making $3.35 an hour, $3.15 an hour. It was a long time ago. And my point is this: it's one thing when American citizens put their life and their freedom on the line to steal and rob from taxpayers. It's a whole nother thing when some foreigners who ain't supposed to be here do that shit. It hits different. I'm just telling you, it hits different. It's like coming home and you come home to eat dinner and your kids ate all the food that your spouse fixed and you didn't get none. They ate the big piece of chicken. You upset. But if you come home and you find out a bunch of strangers who don't live there ate the big piece of chicken and ate all the food, it's different than your family doing. It's like if your family member owes you $20 and a stranger steals 20 from you, it's different, man. I don't know why anybody has to explain that. I'm like, y'all ain't even supposed to be here. It's like, yeah, that's all I'm saying. But have a good day, Dana.
Thank you. I really appreciate the call. Appreciate it. That was a good call.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay, 940, I am coming to you next. I just want to play the first minute of, now this is Tim Walz talking about the shooting, but of course he wants to blame Trump.
To the loved ones who had to learn about this tragic event on national television. We've been warning for weeks that the Trump administration's dangerous, sensationalized operations are a threat to our public safety, that someone was going to get hurt. Just yesterday, I said exactly that. What we're seeing is the consequences of governance designed to generate fear, headlines, and conflict. It's governing by reality TV. And today that recklessness cost someone their life. I've reached out to Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, and I'm waiting to hear back. Let me be clear. Donald Trump and his administration may not care much about Minnesota. That's been pretty evident. But we love this state. We won't let them tear us apart. We'll not turn against each other. To Minnesotans, I say this: I feel your anger. I'm angry. They want a show. We can't give it to them. We cannot. If you protest and express your First Amendment rights, please do so peacefully, as you always do.
The bullshit. He's full of it. If you love Minnesota so much, then why in the hell did you allow $9 billion to be stolen, to be fraudulently stolen and shipped back to Somalia to fund terrorists? Like, come on. And see, I knew this is where it was going. See, they needed something like this. They created what happened today, the chaos, so that they could blame Trump. Trump has nothing to do with this. The Democrat does. The illegals that are here. You have these fake protesters that are not allowing law enforcement to do their job. They're interfering. They're not complying. So yeah, they were not protesting peacefully. $940. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. I have my TV off. I just want to say that I commend the last two people that spoke so on target. I'm going to take another view on this. First of all, the Democratic, I'm originally from California. I'm in Texas now, so I got a whole lot of things to say, but I'm going to just focus on a couple of things. First of all, the Democratic Party, as we see it today, that's not the same Democratic Party from the 60s and 70s. I'm in my 70s, and I went through all those different protests and the things that we did. And what I find really interesting is that these people that are talking about they're peacefully protesting, I notice that they're the ones that are wearing the mask. They're the ones that are instigating the violence. When during the 60s and 70s, the protests were peaceful. People were getting dog attacks on them from the police department. They were getting attacked. A church got blown up with girls who were my age at the time. They would be in their 70s right now. When I look and see that they're wearing masks and everything like that, that reminds me of the Ku Klux Klan. And what really burned me up the other night, I heard someone compare ICE to the KKK. That is such an insult to any black person that went through the things that we went through with the marches and things that were happening when we were coming up. I was in California during the 60s when they had the Watts riot and all those other things that were going on. So I'm around there with the judge. And when I look at these things now, it is just, it's a shame. And I feel like, Dana, that the people that are my age, we need to talk to our young people. We need to sit these people down and let them know the history of our people. Black people died, and other people did too that joined in the march. But people have died, went through all kinds of things that have the rights that we have now, that these foreigners, illegal, disrespectful, and I'm not saying that against people who came here legally, who love this country, who actually fled their country for asylum. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about these people that are on TikTok and coming up public saying all kinds of mess. Now, I'm just going to point out these Somalis right now. Now, they didn't consider themselves black. They were Arabs. Now they want to bring black people into their mess.
Right.
If you notice, these daycares and these learning centers, who are they helping? Only the Somali community, not no black folks that are around there, not no Hispanic folks that are around there, not the American people that have been here. And they've stolen all this money. Now, I noticed that they like to use deflection and intimidation. You know what? They need to go. And I think it's time for churches, those of us who have people like myself, we need to just go and talk to everyday people, which I'm doing, and telling the truth of what happened. This is not the same Democratic Party. I don't care what they say. This rascal in New York City had the audacity to use the Quran. Is that even legal? Because if you know anything about the Quran, it's totally opposite of what the Bible said, which is what everyone gets sworn on. Their Quran says that they can lie to anybody that's not of their religion. So you have your hand on a Quran talking about you will defend and hold up the Constitution and all that. That means nothing to these people. And when that Mondani, when he won the mayoral election in New York, he went to his community, and the first thing he said, I'm a Muslim. He didn't say socialist first. He said he was a Muslim. And I feel like him saying that he was running as a socialist, that was just a cover for what he really is. Those people that are Muslims that are dedicated to that's their only goal, and it's totally opposite. And I'm seeing things in Texas that's really a problem, Dana. And I'm going to tell you, Texas is not going to roll over like New York. It's not happening out here.
What do you think about Jasmine Crockett? What do you think about Jasmine Crockett?
Thank you for bringing that up. I'm going to say something real quick. I noticed that she had a picture of Shirley Chisholm behind her. And I said, when I look at Shirley Chisholm and Barbara Jordan during the 60s, these are some remarkable women, very intelligent, very articulate, very poised. And I look at her, it's a shame before God. It's an embarrassment to me as a Black American. And I call myself Black American. I'm of African descent, but I am a Black American who has been here for quite a few generations. But it's a shame to me how this woman goes around and talks to speak, and you say that you represent Black people. To me, as an older woman, I admire young women like yourselves and others that I see who come on and have a decorum about yourself, have some type of professionalism about yourself. Yeah, we can talk just regular language, common language, but I'm just talking about that ignorant stuff that she does, like that somehow represents Black people, and especially young Black women. I know a lot of them, they don't act like that.
Right.
Not the ones who are about something. So, we just need to step it up. We need to speak out, especially my generation. We need to sit these young folks down, tell them the history that we went through. I don't have to go to TikTok. I don't have to go online or anything to find out what happened. Ask me about it, because I was there when this stuff was going on during the 60s and the 70s. So I'm going to end it right there. Thank you for giving me the time to speak.
Yeah, great call. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Okay. Bye-bye.
That was a great call. Okay. 636. 636.
Hey, Miss Dana, I had one thing I had to ask. I forgot to ask you about.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she brought up Jasmine Crockett, which is funny because she grew up in the state I grew up in, which is Missouri, and she went to all the elite state schools and everything. She went to like private school and everything. She, some reason, I think, was taught to, when she hit Congress, to getify herself
Yeah.
and come out street talk, because that is not the girl who grew up here. And what's messed up is when she moved down to Texas, she got more flamboyant with her language, almost like a reality TV show.
Right. Trying to
I heard
really.
AOC too. AOC was a poor little rich girl that just,
Yes.
mommy and daddy did everything for her, and she had tons of money, and they went into Congress because she's bored.
Right.
It's like, what?
Well, I think they're more
But no, I was just going to pick
socialists.
your mind on this whole thing with the Bernie Sanders lookalike cousin over here, and governor of Minnesota.
Yeah.
He doesn't realize that everything that's happening right now with the Somalia stuff is all based back on him. Because did you watch any of the Congress today?
I had some clips that I wanted to show, but I'm not going to have time to. But I did watch some of it. It's crazy because there were people who were Democrats, but they're whistleblowers telling us.
They sounded Republican, didn't they?
Yeah, and it's just speaking the truth. So right. So I'm just like,
that means they're good Democrats, right?
yeah, and it's right. And so I think they're trying to subpoena. I think he's going to be subpoenaed in front of Congress.
Yeah, but the thing is, not until February.
Oh, well, that's just around the corner. So
really, yeah.
I
caught it. They said
that
not until
live.
February will he be forced up.
Well, I'm going to be streaming.
And I'm like,
that
that's
live.
messed up. That gives him plenty of time to write a script, I guess, huh?
It does, yeah. I mean, but I guess he wants legal representation because you are entitled to that. But it is what it is.
And I didn't hear anything about the mayor being called in, though. Did you?
The mayor of Minneapolis? No, I didn't hear that. Yeah, I didn't hear nothing about him being.
Kind of funny though, right? Because like, let's go after the governor, but not bring the mayor who's also part of it. Because he had to sign off on a lot of that stuff too.
Well, I think he had to distribute the money, but the money had to be approved by the government, by the governor. So they're going to the top. But yeah.
Yeah, they're going top dog and trying to trickle down, I think, is what they might be doing.
Right. All right. Thank you,
But
Steve. Go ahead.
And just one last thing on that deal with the ICE. It's like, should the ICE have all say when they come to a state?
Yes.
Because they are a facility of the government?
They're
that's
federal.
what Tom Holman said. If you touch anybody or block any of our officers, you will see repercussions you probably weren't expecting.
Right. Exactly. So it is what it is right about now. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate you coming
Would it
back
be nice
in.
to see a mayor and a governor go to jail? You have a good day.
You too. A lot of politicians need to be in jail.
You are the last party in the conference.
I can't stand that. What is that? Okay. I want to play this clip of Tom Homan. Speaking of Tom Homan.
Well, first of all, the operation, yeah, I'm extremely happy. And this should come as no surprise to the American people. You and I spoke months ago. I made a promise that we will flood the zone of every sanctuary city in this country as bringing thousands of more agents, 10,000 more agents because of the big, beautiful bill. Why Minneapolis? Why are they being prioritized right now? Because billions of dollars fraud has been uncovered. And what they need to be concerned with, Tim Walz says he's not going anywhere. Well, either am I. Either is President Trump. Either is Pam Bondi. Either is Kristi Noem. So we're there because of the priority census, right? But that show is going on the road. So if the Democrats are having a fit now, you better get counseling because this is about to get a hell of a lot bigger and throughout this nation. That show is going on the road. I actually think Minneapolis is the tip of the iceberg. I think we're going to find a hell of a lot more in Illinois, New York, California. We'll see. But this operation will go nationwide. We're going to keep our promise. And because President Trump is sitting in the Oval Office, every American put their head on the pillow tonight, knowing the Border Patrol is on that border, stopping all threats coming across, most secure border in history of this nation. ICE agents and FBI agents are working 24/7, 365, every hour of every day, taking public safety threats and national security threats off our streets. Sleep well, America, because we're keeping America safer. So we're doing exactly Minnesota what we're going to do nationwide, which you and I talked about, Sean. We're keeping President Trump's promise to American people to make this country safe again, one city at a time, one criminal alien at a time.
And I support Tom Homan. I support the Trump administration. I support the whole operation. Yes, I support him. And I think he's doing a damn good job. Stay the hell out of ICE way. Protest, but you protest to the side. Stay out of their way. Stay out of their way. Now, before I play this clip here, I want to, speaking of Mandani, and then I want to go to Jasmine Crockett before we get up out of here. Let me say this about Mandani, because the last caller, she was a really good caller. You know, people are upset that he used the Quran to be sworn in. And what I want to just bring to the table is, because I have a lot of people in my family who are Muslim, particularly my grandbabies, but usually people use the Holy Bible, but usually they are Christian. So what you use, whatever holy book you use to swear yourself in with, it can be the holy book of your religion. Now, if it's something demonic, I don't think it can't be that. So I'm assuming, I'm going to look it up and do the research. If you are Muslim, you could use the Quran. If you were Jewish, you could use the Torah. If you're a Christian, you could use the Holy Bible. So I don't think people need to get too far up in arms about him using a Quran to get sworn in, because that is his religion. Why would he swear on a Holy Bible when he's not Christian? He's Muslim. And so the purpose of swearing on a holy book is so that your oath that you are pledging, not only are you pledging it to the people of the city or state, your constituents who you're serving, but you are pledging your oath to God to uphold the Constitution or what have you. So don't get too alarmed. However, FIFA is coming to New Jersey. Let me say this again, and let me put myself on the screen. FIFA, guys, is coming to America, and I believe Mexico and Canada. In America, they will be playing in New Jersey, not New York. I'm from New Jersey, born and raised. MetLife is in New Jersey. The Jets, the Giants, they play in New Jersey, not New York. So Mandandi, he needs to mind his motherfucking business talking about the FIFA tickets.
What we are seeing, you know, I had a New Yorker the other day come up to me and ask me if there was any way I could help him get World Cup tickets, because he was saying that the cost that he saw for a game was $600, right? This is increasingly out of reach. We have made what used to be a working class game into a luxury experience. And there are too many for whom it doesn't matter where the World Cup is being played in the world. They know where they're going to watch it. It's TV. And we want to ensure that there are more experiences available.
Well, that's what we all going to be watching. Because first of all, I'm not dealing with the traffic in New York and LA or anywhere. Number two, I'm not spending $600 unless it is Beyonce. I spend $600 on her, not on FIFA. I would spend $600 on Formula One. So if you can't afford it, sit your ass at home and watch TV. Mandandi, do not see, you don't have the authority, you don't have the pull, you don't have the power to tell New Jersey or Ticketmaster or Live Nation or MetLife Stadium how to price the damn tickets. And thank you to the Gronk, what do you call this person? Fact checker. Apart from the fact that the mayor has no influence over FIFA pricing policy, there are no games in New York City. The New Jersey Stadium is in Rutherford, New Jersey. Yes, but it's a New Jersey stadium. They pay New Jersey taxes, not New York taxes. Like, get over yourself. So honestly, the problem with Mandandi is he's very arrogant. He's very arrogant. Now, speaking of Muslim, I like this. I followed him on YouTube and here, muckracker.com. Some Somali man in Ohio says America will become a Muslim state. Our goal is to make America Islamic. All right. I have a caller. Let me take this call real quick before I get into this video. 203, are you there? 203.
Yes, Data. I was just calling to tell you that I agree with you with everything that you said about ISIS and Trump.
Mm-hmm.
I support it as well.
Oh, okay. Cool. That's it.
Yes, that's it. And I love your show. I watch it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Thank you.
You too.
You are the last party in the
How do you
conference.
get the damn voice thing off that? I can't stand that. All right. So let's play this clip here.
Islam's coming to America.
Islam's coming to America?
Yes, it's coming.
Wait, is this going to be
One day, America will become a Muslim state, a Muslim country. Our goal is to make America Islam.
Really?
Islamic state.
Hey, we thought that the poster was very interesting. It says no ice. No ice for what?
Who are you, sir?
Who are you? My name? Yeah. My name is Anthony Rubin.
You're racist, this? You're even racist? You're bad Christians, you're bad Jewish. You're terrorists. This is anti-Islam. You hate Islam. You're haters of Islam. Islam's coming to America.
Islam's coming to America?
Yes, it's coming.
Wait, is this going to be
One day, America will become a Muslim state, a Muslim country.
Really?
Tell Trump.
That's never going to happen.
Yes, it will
That is
happen.
never going to happen.
God is powerful.
It's never going to
God,
happen.
God is powerful.
Is that what everybody here wants? You want to see a
That's
Muslim
one
country?
thing. Our goal is to make America Islam.
Really?
Islamic state.
Never going to happen.
Yes. God is powerful.
It's never going to happen.
You control the heart of Americans. God guides whom He wills.
Over my dead body will this become an Islamic.
يريدون ليطفئوا نور الله بأفواههم والله متم نوره ولو كره الكافرون. You're killers.
I have a question for you. Can I ask you a
Yes.
question? You said that America's going to be an Islamic place.
It will be one day.
Here's my question.
Yes.
Does
The promise of Allah.
Here's my question. Do all the other Somalis here feel the same way?
We believe that the believers will overcome the wicked ones. I am from Somalia. And Trump said, Somalia is garbage. It's not garbage, it's gold. وَلِلَّهِ الْعِزَّةُ وَلِرَسُولِهِ وَلِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Look at this face.
If Somalia is gold, why are you here? Why are you here? If it's gold, go back to Somalia.
Look at this face. They are harassing our community.
I have not harassed
Every time. They have been there for the other daycare.
Go ahead.
Guys, if you recognize these two faces, give them a shit.
You have like family that goes back in Ohio? Like way back? Like how far back does it go?
Well before the Revolutionary War.
And so how do you feel about all this?
I'm a veteran of the United States Army. I swore an oath to protect the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That includes the First Amendment, freedom of the press, and the freedom of speech. It also means that I swore an oath to defend American law.
100%.
The American law says that if people are in this country illegally, we have the right to remove them. There's a poster in there that says anti-ICE. That is advocating for the violation of United States law.
See?
Amen.
Beautifully said.
So what
Beautifully
what
said.
do you say, sir?
I said that poster in there, if it says no ICE, that is advocating for the violation of United States law. If people who are not American citizens don't like that law, you're free to leave.
Can you show me where that sign says we are anti-ICE? Can you show me?
It says no ICE, man. That's an anti-immigration
This is a
enforcement.
bribe. That's a private property. But no one said we are anti-ICE. No one said.
That's what the poster
We
says.
respect the law
Come on,
enforcement.
you can read between the lines.
We
dog.
respect the law enforcement.
That's not correct. You are not correct.
What do you mean?
If you hang a poster in there, in your store, whether it's private property or not, you cannot put a poster up there.
No, why are you twisting the words?
No, listen.
Show
listen
me me
to
where it says anti. Show me.
Listen
Show
to
me.
me.
Can you show
Listen
me?
to me.
Can you show me?
Yeah, I'm going to speak for him because he's on duty. He's not going to say this, and I understand
Eyes,
it.
welcome,
Here's
eyes.
the issue.
Eyes.
Here's the issue. You guys come to the United States of America. Great. You know what? Good for you. I'm glad you got. Where'd you come from? Somalia? I'm glad you got out of Somalia or wherever you came from. I wouldn't want to be there either. But then you guys hang these posters that say no ice. It's so disrespectful.
That's false information. And giving false information is a crime. It's a crime.
What's the false information?
False information.
What's the false information?
It is a crime. Defamation. Crime.
That breaks my heart what you just said. They've been there since before the revolution. And this is what the fuck happened.
I'm pissed. I am pissed if people like this come into this country and defraud this country. And this goes against everything that I fucking gave 11 years of my life for.
So go to Mug Racker. He's on YouTube, the website, he's on X. And so just going back to when the man said this will be a Islamic state. Please, everyone, please don't get upset when you hear that.
You're terrorists. This is anti-Islam. You hate Islam. You're haters of Islam. Islam's coming to America. Islam's coming to America. It's coming. Wait.
No, this America will never be a Islamic state. The only way for America to be a Islamic state is if a Islamic country was able to invade and conquer this land over here, and that would never happen. And if it's not going to happen in my lifetime or my grandkids' lifetime, it's not. United States is never going to be an Islamic state unless it is completely, unless the United States fall like Rome and gets conquered by an Islamic country. But this is not the beginning of time when you had the Ottoman Empire, or a lot of Muslim empires back in the day. You know, they were doing a lot of conquering over there. That's not going to happen today because our military, our weapons, our mass destruction is one of the most powerful in the world. You know, it's United States, Russia, China. And Russia and China, they're not even Islamic. So no, it's never going to happen. It could be 20 million Muslims coming to America tomorrow. This country would never become Islamic. That's just a fact. So a lot of people get upset. Oh, it's too many Muslims. They want to bring Sharia law. Legally, it would never happen. Constitutionally, it would never happen. That is a fact. It will not happen. So I don't even entertain that. If you have a right as a Muslim, as a Jewish, as a Christian, as a Catholic, as whatever, a Buddhist, you have a right here in America to practice any religion you choose. That is the joy and the freedom and the privileges of living here in this country. You could practice your religion. You could set up communities, with people from your religion, working together, living amongst each other, educating. There's nothing wrong with that. The Muslim religion is very peaceful. I would say the same thing about Jewish. I would say the same thing about Christian. Religion is supposed to be peaceful, and it is. It's just that the government and politics that come into it makes it corrupt. So everyone has a right to practice their freedom of religion. That is one of the reasons why this country was founded, even though they came over here and slaughtered the natives, the indigenous. However, we're here today. But the purpose is for you to have the freedom to practice whatever religion that you want to partake in. That is your right. That is your privilege of being an American citizen or just being here in this country. But this country will never be an Islamic state. Absolutely not. So I want to get to Jasmine Crockett. She gets on my nerves. She really does. Guys, please hit the like button, share this video, thumbs up. Oh, honey, I got a lot of people on X, 1,400 people. I have a total of 1,800 people watching this show. That's a lot. Shout out to everybody on X. Love you guys, and on YouTube. So like and share this video, repost on X as well. Honey, Jasmine Crockett was at The View yesterday, right? And she always saying something stupid. So this is what she has to say about January 6th, because January 6th, the infamous January 6th, was yesterday.
Today is January 6th. It marks the anniversary, the 5-year anniversary of the insurrection on the Capitol. But President Trump has pardoned everyone involved. He shut down Jack Smith's investigation. We just heard from Jack Smith. He continues targeting his political opponents. Now, why do you think so many Americans are minimizing January 6th? And as someone who was in the room, my understanding, for Jack Smith's deposition and testimony, what was most striking to you?
Jack Smith was the right guy for the job. I do want the American people to know that. This was someone who not only had the experience, but also understands what it is to actually be a prosecutor. You are to seek justice, not convictions. He made it very plain that it didn't matter what political affiliation someone had, he would have done the exact same thing.
He's worked for both Republicans and Democrats.
He's worked for both. And so he was very credible. And, you know, I do want to just say this. Everyone wants to talk about how Maduro was illegitimate. As we sit here on January 6th, I do want to be clear. Somebody else was trying to be a Maduro of the United States. Somebody else wanted to do the exact same thing. The difference is Maduro was successful. I also want to point out that we now in the state of Texas and around this country are enduring this ridiculous redistricting scheme. Again, because he doesn't really believe in free and fair elections. So again, this idea that he is doing this for a great reason, he made it clear, because it's my understanding that when he went into that press conference, he said at least 20 times, oil, 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 oil.
He sure did.
Listen to him when he speaks. He's telegraphing. And so Jack Smith, I hate that he did not get his day in court. I hate that for the American people.
She sounds stupid as hell. You actually said that Maduro, Nicolas Maduro of Venezuela, the dictator, was successful in ringing the elections and staying in power. You want to compare him to Trump? I'm sorry. Are we forgetting 2020 election? That election was stolen. I'm sorry. Georgia, that came out, what, 2 weeks ago? The election fraud in Georgia, 350,000 votes that were illegitimate votes that went to Biden, which wasn't supposed to go to Biden because Trump should have won Georgia fair and square, which means he would have won the presidency. So you want to talk about election fraud? You want to talk about voter suppression? And then you want to compare Trump to Nicolas Maduro? Venezuelans in Venezuela is praising Donald Trump for sending in the American military and capturing Maduro. Venezuelans here in this country is praising the actions of the U.S. military because they know that they were suffering in Venezuela under Nicolas Maduro. 8 million people fled Venezuela before the Biden administration. But during the Biden administration, Nicolas Maduro opened up the prisons to send the criminals here. So I would never support this woman. She does not deserve to be a senator at all. She's crazy. The Democrats are crazy. Do not support her. Do not vote for her in Texas. She is anti-American.
So over the weekend, the Trump administration forcefully captured Nicolas Maduro and his wife from Venezuela without notifying Congress. President Trump is saying the U.S. will run the country of Venezuela and its oil reserves in the meantime. How do you see this playing out? What's next?
Well, I mean, we've seen this play out before. I guess this is one of the reasons that some people don't want us to know history, is so that we are doomed to repeat it, and seemingly that is what we are doing. Here's the problem. The biggest problem that I have is that it was illegal. Everything that this administration does is illegal. And so I don't know how you take the moral high ground when you are actually executing something in an unconstitutional way in the first place. And so if you had what you needed, which he truly believes that, I guess, then you just would have went to Congress and gotten us involved. But instead, we're hearing leaks and reports that he talked to oil folk, but he didn't talk to Congress.
Girl, Trump doesn't need to talk to Congress. He's in charge of the military. He's not going to war. And this is why she doesn't know what she's doing. She doesn't know what she's talking about. A president only needs Congress approval when he wants to go to war. And then Congress has to approve it because they're in control of the purse. He's not going to war to Venezuela. So he doesn't need the approval from Congress to send in a special ops unit into Venezuela to capture the president. He doesn't need the approval of Congress, you dumb idiot.
Right. What kind of sense does that make? Because the last time I checked, whether or not you control an oil company does not entitle you to decide.
Somebody said Madura, and I saying Mandora. Madura. I'm saying Madura.
Whether or not
Madura, whatever.
The United States goes in. And when you look at the press conference that he held, he didn't talk about democracy. Now, I know there are a lot of people that are talking about this is good for the Venezuelan people because Maduro was a bad guy, but that's not why he did it. He has not cared about Venezuelans at all. Let me be clear about that part.
That's true.
And here's the receipts. The Enemy Aliens Act, which most of us had never heard of because it's from the 1700s, he invoked it.
Dumb, she's an idiot again. You mean to tell me as a congressperson, you don't know about the Alien Enemies Act, the Enemies Act? Our Constitution is over 200 years old, but you still adhere to it?
Specifically because of Venezuelans. He said, we are being attacked and invaded by Venezuelans. That was number one. Then the next thing that you know, CCOT, that's where he was sending Venezuelans. Remember the 60-minute episode that they did not want to air about how they were treating them, mistreating them at CCOT? That's where he sent Venezuelans. Then after that, he was illegally killing folk, saying that, oh, well, they're bringing drugs because it was supposedly about fentanyl, which is not where we get fentanyl,
No, it isn't.
to be clear. So then he killed over 100 people with these bombs that he was dropping. And then when he went in to get Maduro, he killed even more Venezuelans. This ain't about Venezuelans. I get that there are people that don't like the leader, but guess what? There are a lot of people that don't like our leader.
And this is why she cannot be in the Senate. She doesn't even need to be in the House. He didn't kill civilians. He did not. Any casualties when the special ops, the United States military special ops went in there, they were bombing military facilities. So there were soldiers, and soldiers are expendable. The Trump administration, the United States military did not kill Venezuelan civilians. If anybody died, there were soldiers, there were the military. And like I said, military personnel, they're expendable. So she's literally championing, defending a dictator, Nicolas Maduro. He did everything by the book. We have to exercise power because this is about geopolitics. This is about international diplomacy. This is about making sure we are ahead China and Russia when it comes to our defenses. She's way out of line. And people like her and the Democrat Party who echoes her same sentiments are a problem. She is reading from a script. She literally had to have a powwow with her campaign people to actually write up something to where she has to put the blame on Trump to make him look like a bad guy when it came to capturing Nicholas Maduro. Because you can't find a reason on what the Trump administration did wrong. You cannot. But she's pulling shit out her ass, and I don't respect that. She's not clever. She's not smart. She's not an intellect, and she's a horrible politician. She cares more for illegals. Two things that Jasmine Crockett talks about, fights for, and defend: transgender and illegal migrants. Those are the only two things this woman has. Oh, and she's anti-Trump. She's anti-Trump, transgender, and illegals. Those are her three main things that she run around here talking about. I would never support her in anything. She damn sure don't talk about nothing black. She damn sure don't, and she don't talk about nothing that's pro-American for the American people. She's a problem.
And regardless, somebody coming into the United States and grabbing our leader in the middle of the night and killing people in this country, I'm sure everybody would be outraged at them doing it that way.
Yes. It's the way that it's done.
But nobody stops
It's the way
them,
that it was
Jasmine.
done.
No, we wouldn't. We wouldn't be upset. You ask Venezuelans, they're not upset. They're happy. If we had a president that was like Nicolas Maduro, yeah, we would be happy that somebody came in and captured him. But she gets up here lying. He did not kill any Venezuelan civilians. There were military personnel, and they're expendable. He didn't kill innocent Venezuelans. Nicolas Maduro, they had a fair election in in Venezuela. He said, fuck that election. I am the president. And he stayed president for what? A little over 3 terms. In America, we didn't have a fair election in 2020. That was election fraud. Trump never cheated. He actually campaigned fair and square all 3 times. Democrats and Republicans voted for Trump in 2024 to be president here in 2025 because of the illegal migrant crisis caused by the Biden administration. So he is supported in this country. The majority of people in America support Donald Trump.
So I want to just say one thing about you, because I think you clearly trigger the base, Trump, and also the vice president. Let's watch this clip.
And Jasmine Crockett. Oh, Jasmine Crockett. The record speaks for itself. She wants to be a senator, though her street girl persona is about as real as her nails.
Go ahead. Here's your chance. Respond to
Okay,
him.
so first of all, my nails are real. But I will say, what a lot of people don't understand, and Alyssa, you can help me out with this, is that Republicans are a lot better at doing focus groups, right? And so Democrats, we rely on like poll, but focus groups allow you to kind of get down to the nitty gritty of like why people feel a certain way about certain things. Well, I can tell you that right now, what disturbs them is that I am able to get at a demographic that Democrats have been losing consistently in third-party polls, as well as my internal polling. It shows that those that don't have a college degree, by over 70%, choose me. Well, that's a demographic that we've been losing without. So now he's like, oh, no, it's all fake. Like, don't believe that. No, the reality is that I was a criminal defense attorney. I was a public defender. I am somebody who walked into plenty of jails and dealt with real killers. So let me be clear. I understand what happens in the streets, but I don't have to, quote unquote, be a street girl. And I don't even know why.
Don't you think that that's racist?
No,
What is it?
Joy, you know it's racist. Now
well,
we know that, right?
It's very racist.
But
It
but
is.
one of the things that they've been trying to do for quite some time is to try to figure out, specifically within minority communities, where I do well is how do I divide minorities about who Jasmine is? So sometimes they say, oh, she's so educated. And so they're trying to get people that maybe don't have as many degrees, but I'm like, it's not about that. We are all in the same sinking ship, whether you Black, white, Asian.
That's right.
You know,
Educated, non-educated,
we
we're
all in
all
the same
here.
sinking ship.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, I am fighting for all Texans. And so we're going to be Texas tough during this election.
Yes, we are.
Girl, bye. So what JD Vance said wasn't racist. If it was a Black person that said that, would it be racist or will it be an insult? But because he's white, it's racist? Bitch, you do act ghetto. You do walk around like you have some street cred as if you grew up in the projects. You didn't even grow up middle class. You grew up upper middle class. You went to private schools. You went to boarding schools. You went to the best colleges and still came out as a horrible attorney and a shit for brain House representative, a congressperson, congresswoman. You can have all the education in the world, but don't have common sense. So she's right to where it doesn't matter whether you have a degree or not, because everyone up in Congress have degrees and they're dumb. Democrats, Republicans, the politicians are stupid. That's why they lie all the time. That's why you should never trust a politician. But she has time and time again presented herself as Tamika with the bonnet, as if she was brought up in the ghetto, in the projects, in the hood. She was performing that persona, displaying that. So what JD Vance said was not racist. He was just pointing out a fact. Your eyelashes, your wigs, your weaves, your nails, even if they're not fake, you got all that coloring shit on it, which is unprofessional. So are you a Cardi B chick, or do you want to be a respected senator or congresswoman? She flip-flops. But as of late, when Stephen A. Smith got in her ass, and she's still scared to go on his show, but when he got in her ass, that was her wake-up call, because what he said was correct. And he was a Black man. So I guess what he was saying wasn't racist, but I guess he was being a misogynist. But it's pretty funny. Ever since he got in her ass about her behavior, she pulled it back. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how she acts. It's her ideology. Look at her track record. She has done nothing to benefit America. It's just actually the opposite. It's the opposite. And all you Black women, sister girls out here, you love your Jasmine Crockett, you can have her. I don't care. And let me just say this going forward. This YouTube channel, my whole platform, my brand, Judge Joe Brown's brand, it is not for the weak. It is not for the overly emotional. It is not for the sensitive. Don't come over here getting upset with me, because being over here, it is not for the weak. This is not an echo chamber. You got to have tough skin, because there are going to be a lot of things that I say that you are not going to agree with, and that's fine. A lot of things I say are factual, but then I'm also going to insert my own opinion and perspective and conspiracy theories, and that's fine. But over here, it is not for the emotional. I am not a Democrat. I am not a liberal. I am more conservative. I am a registered Republican. Republicans need to stay in power. And I am going to end on this Donald Trump video. Republicans need to hold the House and the Senate. They need to hold Congress. In this midterm, in 2028. They need to hold, and in 2027. I don't care if you black, white, I don't care. Republicans need to stay in charge. I will have another show explaining why. I don't trust no politician. I don't care what party line you're affiliated with. But Democrats, they literally want this country to fall. They want to usher in not just socialism, but communism. Did I play this?
Texas hasn't elected a Democrat
let me play
statewide
this.
in, they say, 30 years. So tell everyone why you feel that's not going to be a problem.
Well, I'm not going to say it's not going to be a problem, but I will tell you that I plan to get it done. Listen, I am used to being underestimated. You know, people that know my story know that I actually only won by 90 votes to get to the state house. And as a freshman, I was handpicked by my predecessor to then go to the U.S. House. Listen, what I did is I evaluated the numbers. The numbers are clear that we can win. Texas is a non-voting state. We are one of the lowest voter turnout states in the entire country, with only about a little bit more than 50% of people turning out to vote. We are also a majority minority state. So for everybody that's like, well, she running for Senate and she black. Yes, I am. I am.
And there are 3 million black voters.
Actually, 4.
Right? 4 million black voters.
We have more African Americans in the state of Texas than any other state. But at the end of the day, the way that I govern is I govern for the people, regardless of my race. And then there are people like, well, it's women, and you know how people feel about women. Let me tell you about the state of Texas. The state of Texas has already had 2 women governors.
That's
to
right.
be clear.
And Richards.
Our first one was in the 1930s, to be clear. And one of the best known senators from the state of Texas is actually a woman, woman Republican. So like, let's just stop with like what we think. I want to be clear that a lot of people haven't put their numbers up, and I haven't put mine up for a good reason, because I'm playing for keeps. But let me tell you that I know how to evaluate and I know how to win races. So I will say that, and I will also say that the front runner in this race was Colin Allred, someone that I served with. After I got my numbers, I did call him as well as the other person in this race. I told them that I would share my numbers with them privately. I did not get asked for those numbers. And I will say that Colin Allred, at the end of this race, in my opinion, will be one of the heroes. Because as the Democratic nominee last time, he decided to step aside because he felt like what mattered was getting the best person across the finish line. And in this moment, it wasn't about him as an individual. He felt like I was ready and that I could get it done.
That's rare.
A rare quality.
No. You know how she's going to get it done? Election fraud. That's how she's going to get it done. Now, on a Republican side, and her competitor, her adversary who's running against her on a Republican side, he do have some scandal that's going to come out. But he has scandal and he still got elected. So she's going to have a hard time beating her opponent, her Republican opponent. And all that with the black talk, it's not going to work. It's not. It's 4 million black people in Texas. Texas, I believe, holds the largest black population, probably next to Alabama. But what is the percentage of those 4 million that are, number one, eligible to vote and actually do vote? So the numbers she's talking are skewed. But I want to play this last clip here before I get up out of here. And it's very important because what he's saying here is true.
You got to win the midterms, because if we don't win the midterms, it's just going to be, I mean, they'll find a reason to impeach me. I'll get impeached. We don't impeach them. You know why? Because they're meaner than we are. We should have impeached Joe Biden for 100 different things. They are mean and smart. But fortunately for you, they have horrible policy. They can be smart.
Line muted.
But when they want open borders, when they want, as I said, men and women's sports, when they want transgender for everyone, bring your kids in. We're going to change the sex of your child. In some cases, like in Minnesota, they don't even tell the parents. Is that right? And nobody believes it when I say it. I think we have 6 states. We have great, solid common sense policy. They have horrendous policy. What they do is they stick together. They never have a no vote. They impeached me. I never knew I was going to be impeached. I get a phone call. You just got impeached. I said, what does that mean? It took them 10 minutes. They impeached the president of the who did a damn good job. I rebuilt our military, Space Force. I got everything. I did a lot. They impeached me for nothing, twice for nothing. Fortunately, you were on our side and we were unanimous. And the second time, the few people in this little group, like Rice and this.
So listen.
You got to win the midterms.
And that is a whole fact. You got to win the midterms of Republicans. It's a 2-party system, Democrats, Republicans. Both parties have their flaws. The difference is if Congress falls in the hands of the Democrats, we are up Schitt's Creek. America will fall. This will become an Islamic state quicker than what other people are predicting. You got to win the midterms. And so I say that this is the first Dana with the Data live show of 2026. That is my focus on this channel, to expose the fraud, talk about the midterms, push for Republicans to win and be dominant on state and federal elections. Yeah, this is a big year. People focus on the presidency. You got to understand the importance of Congress. So you're going to be getting more content from me and the judge talking about the midterms elections, the importance of Congress and their duties, what they should and should not be doing. And we got to make sure Jasmine Crockett does not become a senator. We got to make sure, and I'm sorry, that Ohio stays red when it comes to the governor. I am going to vote for Vivek. Whether you like Vivek or not, because he's Indian, it has nothing to do with it. The Casey person, I am going to reach out. I would want to reach out to their campaign and interview him. Maybe he is a contender. But Ohio needs to stay red. And I know we have some other high profile elections. I have to look into that. But Congress, midterms, Republicans, do your damn job. Stop being so passive and timid. No, be just as dirty, be just as aggressive and conniving as the Democrats. And that's all I got to say. Listen, thank you everybody for tuning in. I got one little super chat, honey. And I did get a Cash App. Thank you, Sarah. And thank you, Bella, for the Cash App. Thank you guys. I appreciate everyone that called in. Great callers. Everybody listening here on YouTube, please like and share. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe. Hit the bell button to get all notifications. Shout out to everybody on X. I have over 2,000 people watching this show. That's the most I've ever had in I don't know how long. So shout out to everybody on X. Everybody in that chat room. The chat room was lit. Phone lines was lit. Conversation was lit today. So thank you guys. Appreciate you guys. And I will see you in the next video. What is your Cash App? My Cash App is $ Dana with the Data. It's right here on the screen. $ Dana with the Data. The link is in the description. 6 o'clock video is premiering. Me and the judge breaking down the history of the United States regime takeovers throughout the world. Agent. Yes. So I will see you live again on Monday and with Man Up Monday with Judge Joe Brown. And every Wednesday, this is Migrant Crisis Wednesday, Migrant Wednesday. And make sure you subscribe and hit the bell button so you can get notifications when I drop a video. And go and watch the video that is premiering tonight at 6 p.m. It's a good one. It's a clip, but it's a good video. All right, guys. Have a wonderful week. Happy New Year. Stay blessed. Stay safe. Stay woke. But don't be woke. You get what I'm saying? All right. Bye.